All right, we should be good to go here. Good morning, good morning. My apologies for starting the stream a little bit late here. Just had some things I had to finish up. Took a bit longer than I expected. Okay. It's KALA. Looks like we have around a 7-8 million share float. Good morning, everybody. Again, sorry for the delays. Had to make some last-minute adjustments here. Okay, so we had a pullback, and the first minute resolved very cleanly. Could be promising. Good volume, too. So we were on a decline here. There was a spike yesterday, and this looks like resolution. KALA, was this... I don't really remember this very well from yesterday. It's just didn't really do anything on Friday. Good morning. Messed up Cine this morning. Shorted at 250s. Covered at 241. What crappy trade. I mean, you made money, didn't you? Yeah, I mean, it ended up not working out like the this move, so you would have made money on it. Yeah, I saw this one. I got on around 6 a.m. this morning just to check out how things were going. I saw this was on the scanners. I'm actually kind of disappointed this rolled over. Good morning, Ben. Good morning. Yeah, I forgot to reset all of my settings for OBS, so I had to quickly put them back together for this stream. So that's why I was running a few minutes late. I forgot that I needed to reset them. So my very brief knowledge, I think I have everything reset. Seeing Cine completely roll over, not really what you want to see though. I was actually kind of hopeful this morning, seeing how Cine, whenever I saw it around 6:30, I saw it was moving pretty well. And I thought, okay, if we're seeing stocks like this after seeing SMX on Friday, I was actually pretty optimistic. But seeing this roll over kind of makes me a bit more iffy. KALA still holding up pretty well. Yeah, I don't really know if I want to get too aggressive on this. The problem is that the volume is high on this selling pressure. Right? Even on this one, you had huge selling pressure. Well, huge volume on the downward price action. So that's making me not really want to look for a bounce play. The problem with KALA is it's a bit higher float. Not terrible, right? 7 million, if we're averaging the two, that's not terrible. But the price is also a bit lower. Yeah, OBS giving problems. Well, no, I mean, it's not giving problems. I had to... For whenever we did our recording, I don't know if you remember, but I told you I was temporarily deleting them and I was going to fix them afterwards. But Yeah, I forgot to do that. So I had to do that at the last minute. Cine still selling off. You made some money on Cine off to your day job. Good luck. Yeah, good luck. Have fun at your job, Dr. Happy Joints. Yeah, good stuff making money on this front side. If I was here, like at 6, I may have traded it, but like I said, I only got on to check the markets. I didn't get on to trade anything, so unfortunately I missed this front side. Yeah, this thing just totally capitulated, right? From 219, 220, just all the way down to like 260 or 160 almost. It's a pretty massive rejection. I would be interested in a bounce play here, but the volume's just too high, right? You see the volume reducing and then the volume increase as the sell-off happens. That doesn't give me confidence. Unfortunately. But yeah, I'm going to be, of course, watching SMX, see how it does today. Probably out of territory to trade it. It's just so high priced. So I'm not really anticipating a trade on it. Yeah, I've seen it. I got the absolute top short and gave it for 10 cents. And to have it watched. Yeah, I mean, this rollover is insane, right? Just... And seeing how CMEX or SMX held yesterday and then seeing this, like, I would have been one to say shorting might have been too aggressive, but I mean, it worked. Yeah, that jackknife at 7. Oh, this was right at 7. Funny how that works. Yeah, I know KALA should have been something I should have been watching here, but the problem is just it feels like it's moving kind of slow. Like the volume's high, but it feels like it's moving a bit slow. And I mean, that slowness is partially due to the lower price plus the slightly higher float, right? You can see the level 2 is kind of thick. So I'm not really expecting clean resolution. Like this first candle was actually pretty clean resolution, right? This first pullback, but I don't know. This might be just one I watch and give it as a judge. Right, because we have Cine that ended up rolling over. KALA is basically the next test. Oh, I need to adjust, make sure my sizing is back to normal. I don't know if I fixed it. Yep, I did. Okay, we're good there. So let's see if this holds the second 1 minute pullback. Like I said, I'm not super interested in here. This isn't the best quality setup. Mostly just watching it to see what it tells us about the strength of the market. For you, those of you tuning in here, if you could hit the like button, it would help me out, get this out to more people. I see 3 of you already did. I appreciate that. And I do apologize again for the delay in starting the stream. Like I said, I had some technical issues I had to deal with, so I started a few minutes late today. But hey, I did it pretty fast, right? I had to reset the camera, reset the mic. Had to recenter everything. Did that in all like 5-10 minutes. It's not bad. You see now, still pushing the lows here. Interesting too, because this is one that's actually like, just to show you on the daily, this is a stock that's pretty steadily sold off. Like this is a very consistent channel going down. Right, then you see this break and then just the immediate recapture. Very interesting. Interesting price action. You got the rug pull and say, yeah, that's rough. And it's I mean, I can't really even say it's a coincidence that happened right at 7. right? Whoever was buying in here clearly had intention to dump, not even from just this, but I'm looking at the volume on this candle, right? So you, like half, I'm just going to assume half of this was selling pressure from one person. So you're talking at like 1 million shares of selling pressure, roughly. Okay, I got QTTB coming up on my scanners here. All right, so $3 stock looks like a good price. Thinkorswim is saying 12 million. Okay, so it looks like we got about 12 million. Looks like we have news on it too. The news came out at 7, but we saw this incremental climb. KTTA resolved, or KALA resolved pretty well on the initial pop. Similar float compared to this. The only thing I'm wondering is the rug pull on KNEY going to make people want to avoid this? Initial flow seems to be strong, right? We push the highs on higher volume. Short at 350. This looks strong. Let's see. Had a break to 4 and a quick return. This volume's good, but for 12 million, I'm not sure if this volume's good enough. So there's like a 25,000 share seller here. They're still there. A lot of resistance around the 66 level. Okay, pop back up to 75. Worried that there might be someone holding this back. We did see that that 25,000 order was showing up multiple times. Not super significant considering the volume per minute. But there's clearly some kind of wall here. The fact that this volume isn't breaking that wall's kind of what's keeping me from getting in right now. Maybe a hidden seller. Yeah, more ideal here would have been a pullback on lighter volume. Like, we are seeing slightly lighter volume, but this is still kind of high. The fact it's holding is bullish in its own context, but the problem is I don't really want to be buying at the highs in a cold market. I mean, maybe half size, but... Very high volume coming through here on that push at 380. A lot of orders were going through there to buy. Whoever the seller was, they definitely got weakened on this push. Right, that wasn't a fake move up to 380. That was a real move. And there was buying that was going through at 380. So there was an attempted buy out there. Okay. I don't really trust buying that knife. Volume's still a bit high. It's not pulling back to 330, 350. Yeah, 330, 350 is really what I was more looking for. The problem was this looked like a complete capitulation, and to me that just looked too dangerous. Really, a complete reversal though. So we had kind of like a fake out into a complete recovery. Man, now it just feels like games are getting played. We're seeing movement though, right? 350 to 4. Right, it's a 50-cent move. We are seeing movement. And volume inflow is increasing too. Very weird scenario to happen there. A clear attempted breakout with high buying pressure here into a fake knife here into a breakout. Like, how does that even happen? I'm having trouble reading it. Trying to because I don't really like trading something if I can't really read it well. This is giving me very weird signals. Not easy to follow it. It's pushing through that 4 again now. The break of 4 was pretty nice. Quick resolution up 20 cents. One possibility could be that there was someone trying to sell here at 380. Whenever they were getting filled here for most of their order, they could have just sold the rest here. That might have been what this drop was. And now that they were out, the price just goes. That could be one explanation. Waiting on this. Go ahead and get my document set up real quick. December 1st. I mean, if we see a pullback here on lighter volume, I could consider it. But I want to see a more clean entry, because this did not feel clean. This felt like a flush into a reversal. The problem is the volume at the time was quite high on this reversal. So to me, that looked like it could have just been a full-on capitulation. It would have been too risky, in my opinion, to try and buy there. So 3 minutes of pullback now. Volume is slightly lower, but not much. That's decent. That's a decent bullish signal, but not a strong one. So you had what appears to be a fake 1 minute high. Now, if this pullback was on lighter volume, I would have been more ambitious to take that 1 minute high. But I'm iffy. This resolution wasn't clean, and because this one was not setting up the most ideal setup, I wasn't super inclined to take that one either. Quite high volume on this breakdown too. Although this looks like a little bit of an overreaction. I'm in half size. Looking for like 394 or so. Bit of a wall around 384. Yeah, seems like there's a lot of pressure here at around 380. I gotta cut it. Just a small loss on that one. The problem is this was flushing well to this point. On this candle, there was lower volume, and we did start to see a bit of a curl. The problem is that this ended on high volume, and even on this one we saw high-ish volume, and we were pushing lower. That wasn't the trajectory I was wanting to see. Yeah, it didn't... This one feels like it's giving harder entries. So I had an order at 93. We touched 93. Yeah. Is what it is. I got shaken out during this area. Very choppy. Right, this was kind of rough. Seeing this 1 minute high fake people out. You know, there's a lot of people that probably bought this 1 minute high and they got stuck and probably failed somewhere in this pullback. $2 loss is nothing. We'll see if anything comes up for the half hour here, because we did pass over the half hour. So funny enough, it touched 393, so I actually still wouldn't have gotten filled even if I held. Yeah, CMX or SMX is going to move with low volume now, just because it's such a high price. When you have a stock this high priced, it's just going to move on such low volume. Like I said, it's kind of so high now, it's really difficult for me to ever really gauge it properly. There's just not enough volume for me to really assess it. And yeah, QTTB... I mean, it's still holding this level, but it's definitely shaking some people out, right? I guarantee you some people got shaken out here. I guarantee you some people got shaken out here. So this one's been playing dirty. The 1 minute highs have not been working well on this stock. I mean, unless you want to count this pullback into this 1 minute high, but that's, I mean, most people were probably looking at it to break out here. DYAI looks like this might be moving. 36 million shares, though. I mean, this is 30 million. Yeah, I mean, higher float, lower price. I probably shouldn't mess with this one. Yeah, and even with QTDB, right, it is a higher float too. So we haven't had any excellent plays at the moment. W buy. Oh yeah, I saw W buy earlier. It's not on my scanners anymore, but I saw it earlier. I can look at it real quick. Oh wow, ooh, this thing. Well, that's why I didn't see it anymore. Yeah, this thing is just sold off. Yeah, it's a lower float. Or no, this says 91 million. Maybe there was a reverse split or something. But yeah, this thing's just kind of churning lower. Did have a nice move on Friday, though. But yeah, it's, I mean, my scanners weren't showing it at all since it's just been bleeding. Yeah, and even now, this is just, it's kind of just going sideways now, right? I've kind of got this range between 370 and 390. CNEY back to, I mean, we're at the point where we're just completely back to flat on the day. That's crazy, crazy sell-off. This volume's lighter too. What's the float on this? 6 million, 5 million. Maybe keep an eye on this one, depending on how much it goes down. Ooh, okay, SGN getting some serious volume here. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, 100,000, it's good volume. Filing of registration statement on Form S4, proposed business combination with one blockchain. Okay, so crypto thing. But yeah, float's relatively low. Decent-ish volume. On the daily, it's kind of just went sideways and down. Price is decent. This setup's not terrible. I'm a bit concerned about the catalyst. Volume isn't super high yet either, but it is the very start. Seems like there was a seller at 156. Okay, high volume on this red candle. Also, not great to see that we had low volume on the spike and then high volume on the retracement. Good morning, Amir Gaber. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, I was actually just thinking that football. Yeah, football master, you got it very well. I noticed it with, I should have articulated it better. Thank you for bringing that up. So Cine gave good opportunity, but then we just had this complete and utter rejection. This was kind of unexpected. And then for Kayla to also just kind of do this first leg, second leg, but the float wasn't quite right. And then QTTB, we had a fake out here. We had a fake out here. And then I got shaken out here. It doesn't feel like it's been super clean. We haven't had anything that's kind of just checked every box. And even with this one, right? You're seeing low volume on the spike, high volume on the sell-off. Doesn't look clean. QTTB breaking 4 again. Yeah, I might go back and look at it. It's breaking 4 again, but it's moving slow. Okay. I was getting interest in there around 137. If we went down to like 120s, I was probably buying. Right, this volume was low at the time. Yeah, it looks like a pump and dump. Initial price is around 127. Yeah, the problem is we're getting high volume on this selling pressure. I wouldn't mind buying a knife pull, but you can't have these high volume spikes on the drops. That kind of justifies the sell-off. I did say too, around 156 it looked like there was a hidden seller. And then when you break 156, just immediate reversal. I am still keeping an eye on QTTB on a side chart. QTTB, it's moving slow now. And it's already messed me up once a little bit. If it was holding 160, that'd be your entry. Yeah. I would have still been iffy just because of this volume discrepancy, right? Low volume on the pump, high volume on the pullback. Unless you were saying on the, like if it held here, right? If it didn't actually break 160 here, that would certainly look stronger. Yeah, to me, I can't see me going long here. Even like this would have to go down to like 120s for me to think about a long. The odds it does that aren't super high. QTTB, slight pullback. It's still moving pretty slow though. Yeah, this is just straight up a pump and dump. It had a lot of the things we were looking for, right? It's one of the more low floats. We had a news catalyst. My issue also was the catalyst wasn't that great. We've seen crypto catalysts not really performing that well lately. So that was kind of not a great signal too. KALA still selling off here. Yeah, this isn't good. We're still seeing stocks that are giving back most of the move. KALA is giving back a lot. CNA gave back the entire thing. So we're 2 for 3. QTTB is still holding, so I will count this as a holding stock. So we're 2 for 3. And if SGN fails, because it looks like it's failed, then we're going to be 3 for 4. So we got TGL. It's a penny stock, though. I'm probably not going to touch this one. And I can probably just lock in SGN as having failed. Like this doesn't look like it's coming back. QTTB though, very, very nice breakout here. Right? Seeing 60 some cents per share, 70 cents per share on that spike. Definitely pulling my interest back. Yeah. Nice volume too. Hmm. Right, you clearly have support here at around 420. But I don't know. This thing's already shown that it does a very strange movement. Very, very weird price action. It does look like we're holding though. Right, it held this 418 level. We attempted a 1 minute high. We'll see if it resolves or not. Did hold a second time. Okay, we're seeing a slight curl starting to happen here. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about this. I see a world where this goes up or down. Right, I think there's arguments both ways. Very choppy. Right, we're not getting any clean resolutions in either direction here. Right, so tapping 50 again. It's very difficult to read this one. But, like, we are trending up. We have 5 minutes till the top of the hour. Now I almost feel like we're just kind of grinding here. Similar to this. And part of that, again, part of that might just be because the float is so high. You're not really getting this decisive price action that you would see on like a low float. There's a lot of churn going on with sudden random spurts. Right, you kind of had this random surge right here. You had that random surge right here. And then you just have a lot of grinding periods. Very difficult to find any actual edge or read on this thing. Hmm. 3 minutes till the top of the hour here. Currently sitting with just one trade on the day. Small loser. Since we're about to hit the top of the hour here, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please do leave a like. Helps me get this out to more people for the next top of the hour. I would appreciate it. Good morning, Gabino. Good morning. This is definitely a good Monday start, right? We aren't seeing it be cold, right? We're seeing stocks actually try to move, like CNA did move, KALA did move. We're not seeing stocks hold very well, but we are seeing stocks moving, right? QTTB, very nice move. Yeah, and we had this sudden spike into a dip. Yeah, this thing is incredibly hard to read. This thing is doing multiple moves that are just very violent. Anyone kind of trading this in the traditional sense is probably getting difficult trades. But yeah, we got top of the hour. We'll see if we get anything new to look at here. I don't really know if I want to test this anymore. I already gave it one shot. 12 million shares is already kind of high, and this thing is not really getting the resolution that I feel like would be clean. TGL's kind of curling here again. It's too cheap for me to trade. But if anyone likes penny stocks, this looks like it might be curling in some way. Really nice volume too. See, Lucy's moving. Okay, we do have news too. So high volume on the spike up, lower volume on the pullback. Really kind of churning here. I'm gonna get in here at 161. It's not even the greatest setup too, which is the problem. The main reason I got in here is because of the level 2. We were seeing a lot of bullish action going through, and on this breakdown it was light. But I don't know, I'm kind of iffy on if this was actually a great trade. It's a slower mover, so the risk isn't as high. But I'm not really super convinced about this. 10,000 share buyer there. That's good to see at least. Throw out a sell order if we see a sudden spike up to 68. Yeah, there is news on Lucy. Retail partnership with Smart Buy Glasses. What did this spike to? This spiked to 67, 1 penny below my price, of course. Of course. Okay, got another little spike there to 66. I'll keep my order out here at 68. Very nasty rug on that. Volume wasn't even that high on it either. I'm seeing a bit of a mismatch here. Yeah, it's just not that quick of a resolver today. We're not really seeing the volume come through to give it the move it needs. Like, this volume to price action doesn't look terrible for me to buy this, but we're just not seeing stuff resolve good enough. I'm, like, not really convicted to add here. There's nothing else really to watch at the moment I can see. It's really just this, and I mean, KALA is somewhat curling. Could be worth switching back to that. Good stuff, flip-flop. Yeah, a lot of these are just rolling over lately, it feels. I still haven't given up completely on this Lucy either. I mean, it's still showing some pressure to the upside. Might not look like it on this pullback, but there has been some buying. I just don't know if I have conviction to add here. All right, we saw like a 10,000 share buyer here, but then on this red candle we had like, what, 64,000 of selling pressure. So the buying is kind of beaten out. Yeah, I got to get out with that. There's a big seller there. Whether that goes up or down, I can't hold through that. Yeah. Yep. Just another rejection stock. Gave the entire move back. Still selling pressure too. It's rough today. There's just not a lot of stocks moving and holding. I'm glad I got out before this move down. Held it for like, what was that? 8 minutes. I'm gonna give that a B minus. This one was a little bit of a slower mover. One single trade on the morning, QTTB 419 to 424. And then 5 seconds later, it shoots to 450. SMH is what it is. It's dreadful market day. Grateful to be... Yeah, be grateful, man. This is... I'll be honest, I've been trying to read all these stocks. I mean, the turnover rate's very high today. We're having like 80% rejection rate. And even the ones that did, the one that did move, QTTB, right? I said it earlier, this stock has been giving very strange signals. Right? You had this fake out into a spike. You had this 1 minute curl into a flush. You had this kind of slow, steady move up into this random spike. You had this thing kind of curl higher, then slowly get back, then this chop, then this re-fake out, making people think this is going to break, then it sells off. Just very, very unclear price action today. I mean, I'm down 750, but I'm not upset. I haven't really been overexposing myself today. I mean, I've been trying to prod and test twice. Lucy wasn't honestly the greatest test. I saw buying pressure, so I gave it a shot. But yeah, this thing, I mean, it just completely gave back the whole move. I got within 1 penny of actually hitting target. But yeah, it has not been clean at all today. Very difficult. I did think Lucy had more potential, though. Basically 2.5 million shares. We were having like 100,000 a minute. We were seeing a 10,000 share buyer step in here. And the price was curling. I thought this genuinely had a chance to go up. In a hotter market, I might have tried to add here. But I just didn't have enough conviction. How much do I pay on commissions fees? So Lightspeed has it on their website, but basically, just assume for every 100 shares I trade, I'm paying 35 cents per share. Or 35 cents total each way. So basically for every 100 shares I trade, I pay 70 cents. Just look at it that way. I have it built into this spreadsheet as well. So see here, if I click the commissions, basically I add up all the shares I traded times 2 because of the buy and sell, and then times the rate. Right? Pretty simple. And then I just take the total results with the commissions, and that gets the net profit loss. Right? So even though I am down $7.50 on the day, after commissions, I am down $8.55. If that makes sense. Yeah, in a slower market where I'm getting smaller returns, the commissions are more impactful. We have CIIT moving. Again, penny stock, so I'm not really interested. Just throwing it out there that this thing looks like it is moving. Yes, SGN sold off. Yeah, we're looking at about an 80% failure rate today for stocks holding up. We got 10 minutes till the half hour. See if we get anything here. Yeah, despite some stocks moving and having some gappers today, not easy at all. The IIT looks like we had a pretty big increase in volume on this candle. RVSN also moving. Again, very cheap. Seeing a lot of cheap stocks moving right now. I don't want to really get involved with anything like this. CIIT 100K float. I mean, I'll look at it again if it's that low. Well, where are you seeing 100K float from? Right, because I'm looking at Lightspeed and Thinkorswim, and they're both saying 16 million. Despite the horrible price action, QTTB holding up well above VWAP. Definitely shift in sentiment from last week. Well, again, my issue is that 80% of stocks are failing. QTTB is the only one that's holding up. So I would rather say this is an anomaly than the actual market trend. Right, you've got KALA. This one actually made a bit of a spike back up here. But CNEY, this one just rolled over. Lucy, this one kind of just rolled over. Yeah, 100K is wrong. Okay. CIIT, Trade Ideas says 100 mil. Yeah, 100K is wrong. Yeah. Yeah, 100K shares on a stock that's 50 cents. You wouldn't be seeing 50,000 shares on the ask. Right, that's like a 10%, like, that's like 50% of the float, if that was the case. Hopefully we get something here. It's 8:30. I'll keep going. I mean, I haven't exposed myself too much. The Lucy trade was not the greatest quality. So I may have been a little ambitious with that one. Managed to maintain the damage though, right? The damage was minimal. $6. Yeah, Hope and Flight, I'm right there with you. I'm not down terribly, but like, I'm 0-2 today. Right? I'm down 8 cents a share. Not terrible by any means, but the fact that I've been here for nearly 90 minutes and both my trades were losers, not a great feeling. And the thing is because of how many stocks have been rugging today, and even QTTB, how kind of unpredictable it's been, I would probably go out on a ledge and say a lot of people were down today. At least more than 50% of people were down today. Hey brother, how you doing? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Could be better. The way the market's been today, just a little bit rough. A little bit rough, but it happens. I mean, I was green. Every day last week I was green, so you know, I can't even be that upset. It's just a numbers game. I kind of went in today, I was like, man, maybe I could pull off another miracle. Get another green week, green every day, but it's looking, I mean, it's not impossible, right? 750, that's totally recoverable. Totally, and I mean, we still got the 8:30 news and we've got the 9 a.m. news. So it's totally doable. Lost 5K. I feel it. Where'd you lose it on? What stock? QTTB? Or maybe CNA or CNET or CNA maybe. I could see this one. Yeah, I want to know what stock. Yeah. On CNA. Yeah, no, this pullback was brutal. And I even said it earlier when it was pulling back, right? When we were around here, I was thinking about it because I'm like, man, this looks so extended. But what I said this morning too was seeing this very high volume on these spikes down, that's a major red flag to me. And I was too worried that there was somebody selling a massive position, so I just didn't get involved. And it looks like it was the right call. Right? Hindsight's 50-50. But unfortunately, and maybe this doesn't show because I'm red on the day, but I've been turning down a lot of opportunities today. Just, we've had multiple movers. We had like 4 or 5 stocks that were like in play. But I just kept turning them down because they just didn't look that great. Even the one I did take on Lucy, I kind of gave this a B- quality. It's just not the greatest. You were predicting it, but did not believe yourself. No, and a lot of times too, when you have something like this, where it just keeps selling and selling and selling, sometimes it could just be hard to admit you're wrong. Right? I mean, you look at this, right, and you're just like, it's gotta bounce. You know, it's like, it's gone down so much, like it's gotta bounce here, surely. And then just to see this, it can be hard to comprehend. I totally get it. I get it. QTTB is breaking out again. I'm like iffy if I even want to touch this, just given how choppy it's been. Plus it only had a 1 million float. Yeah, someone sold big. Yeah, so we had this kind of spike, similar looking spike here. Similar volume too. But then we kind of just like churned, then pulled back a bit. Sold half QTTB from 407. Good stuff. Really nice hit. Really nice hit, Gabino. I can understand why you'd want to buy here. It's just the way this has been acting, I've been so hesitant to touch it. And I mean, even this is just like a bunch of consolidation. This is similar to this setup. AHMA. Very big spike, huge spike. What is this? No news. Just gonna test this one maybe. Let's see if we get anything or not. If we roll over. 686 seemed to have held quite well. It just might be running now. This one got to be really careful on. All right, this has no news on it. Very large spread. Short small at 750. I mean, good luck. I mean, this thing did just go to 12. Like, so I feel like this thing could go up quite a bit. But just the no news already just throwing me off with it. Very weird stock on the daily. Whatever the case is, I don't really see this thing going up. If we don't have any news behind it, right? And Thinkorswim is saying this is a 30 million share outstanding stock. This thing probably just popped on light volume and the market makers pulled their orders and this sudden spike happened. Yeah, if I'm being honest, I don't see any reason it holds here. The fact that it popped at 686 is already quite surprising. This did pop right at 630. I mean, I'm not seeing any news, but perhaps something came out and it just didn't get reported on Thinkorswim. Yeah, QTTB is also still moving. It ended up curling and breaking out. A little more at 550. Final target. Or if it cracks support. $550. The QTTB now actually starting to like run more. Right now we're actually seeing a more clean resolution. Volume's higher too. I'm just worried because we're so late into the run now. Got in on QTTB at the curl. Have to run or see what happens. Good luck, man. Good luck. Yeah. I was interested in that curl. I was mentioning how it was similar. This was similar to over here. But then AHMA kind of came up and that was dragging my attention away. Pretty big rejection of 5. Volume was quite high too. SVRN came up on my scanners. Announces repurchase of 10 million outstanding common stock. You're getting squeezed on, oh yeah, HMA. I'm really surprised it made that second pop. I really like the catalyst on SVRN. It's 31 million shares though. I really like the news catalyst on SVRN, but unfortunately it just didn't get any volume. Yeah, really interesting how this kind of curled and then spiked. Really feels to me like somebody went short here. Someone went short big and they were getting squeezed out. You're out, screw it. Yeah, QTTB just kind of kept going back. I'm trying to jump between the two. Also, SVRN still looks interesting to me. I know it's not getting much volume, but it's just the catalyst is so good on it. Like, we're just not seeing any resolution. Yeah, AHMA might be drawing attention away from QTTB. I mean, this is quite a flashy looking move. Had a breakdown to 860s. Then recover. You take 1/3 R pre-market, would have been nice for the full R. Yeah, but the problem is, you know, pre-market, you can see some pretty insane flushes. Right, liquidity is typically a lot lower. You took it all off even on AHMA. Flat for now. Yeah, it's AHMA, pretty crazy spike on that, honestly. I genuinely didn't think it was going to do this kind of retest. FTEL also moving. Unfortunately, there's 30 million shares on this thing, at least according to Thinkorswim. Yeah, 20 million according to Lightspeed. I mean, this is a share repurchase program, but I'm not really super sold on this. QTTB, this might have been the top. Right, we've just been selling off pretty hard. Volume's also been significant, right? This volume's much higher than when it was flat. Tells me maybe somebody's been selling this whole time. There's an ATM on QTTB. What do you mean by ATM? Like at the money offering? If there was an ATM for an offering, this thing would have went straight down, right? This is like kind of just a slow grind. Unless the ATM was like really close to here. But yeah, I don't see anything here that says that. Yeah, I mean, I don't see it on my end, so I guess it's just not reported on Thinkorswim. FTEL still continuing to break out. Yo, Key Life Trading, good morning. How you doing, Key? It's a really nice volume on this break. Right, very clean resolution of the 1 minute. Posted in the Discord. Okay, I'll check it out. And if anyone is interested in joining the Discord, I do have the Discord in the link in the description of this video, this live stream. So you too can see what Gabe is talking about. Yeah, QTTB continuing to sell off here. You good? Keep up the good work. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, pretty flat day for me. Small red. We'll see if we get anything at 9. I might even try FTEL if we get a good setup. But yeah, it might just be a small loss today. But there's still a little time left, so we'll see. Okay, so some volume coming through here. ATON. There is news on this. I mean, that's a decent catalyst. 20,000 share seller at 15. Actually gonna get in there. In at 205. That pop down was pretty low. Yeah, see you tomorrow, Ben. Okay, seeing some buying here. And big seller 208 though. $18,000. Whoever had that order up here, they moved it down. I don't know if I feel comfortable adding, but I feel somewhat comfortable holding for a little bit. Does feel like there's a wall at around 212, 211. Even though we had that seller go away at 208. See if we get that pop or not. All right, we did get it. Got that nice little breakout here on that 1 minute. And by the grace of the bell, we managed to snipe a green day out of the midst of defeat. And AHMA, surprisingly, returning to near highs. It's crazy work going this hard. Also, QTTB selling off quite hard here. Yeah. I'll take your word for it on the dilution or offering and leave it at that for now. You're finally starting to see some green on QTTB. Yeah, I mean, it's corrected pretty hard. So there's that. This is a very, very surprising move. Like, we've just actually seen it kind of just grinding up here, right? Like, there's almost a base. ATOM still doing very well. To me, it's really just watching AHMA and ATON at the moment. This could have been a nice attempted bounce here just because of this support. But you would be buying into this apparent heavy selling. So, 1 minute high, struggling to resolve well. One minute till the top of the hour. It's a little bit frustrating because we've had nice moves today, like QTTB. I mean, this is a pretty awesome move. AHMA, again, very nice move. But, I mean, this one was just very difficult because there's no news for it. And just seeing this thing go straight up, very hesitant to jump on board for that. And QTTB also just had very weird price action. I couldn't really see any real edge trying to trade either of them. Makes me feel like I'm missing out a little bit. AHMA continuing to sell off, but the volume's low. If we can see a nice pop down here and this volume remains low, I might try and snipe something. You just can't trust it. Yeah, I mean, it's selling off on lighter volume, too. That looks bullish. I also do recognize that this thing is up massively on no news. So if there was someone getting squeezed and they're just fully out, then this should logically just come back down. Right, but you got like a 20,000 share buyer at the bid. Maybe low 10s. Low 10s or high 9s would be a good entry. Don't really know how much I trust it to hold here. Nice attempt of a bounce there. Yeah, I didn't really trust it to bounce at 1050. It looked like it was getting pressured a lot. Very nice pop on this. Very big volume coming through too. So whoever was buying at 1050, they actually might have just had a very large position there. Meanwhile, ATON. Bit of a breakdown here. Volume's kind of high, but not super high. Yeah, that pop on HMA. Yeah, I don't know if I would have trusted getting in at 1050 though. I'll watch these for a little bit longer because they're close to in play. I'm looking for around 1120, 1130. ATON still selling off though. It's insane to me how some of these stocks are just performing today. Very, very weird. I'm actually going to take that at 191. Like this thing just gave back the entire move. It's crazy. Some of this rejection is just really shocking to me. NCT is also moving. Floats a bit higher on it though. AMA, looks like we're having a bit of a sell-off on it. I say a bit, dropped over $1 a share this last minute. Similar story with Aton. I don't know if I have the conviction to add here. This is quite oversold, but it looks like there could be someone laddering this down. We haven't had a single minute where we've had a 1 minute high. Tells me someone might be pushing it down. Right, the level 2 has been very thin on the ask as well. Tells me it's a hidden seller. Okay, first 1 minute high. Looks to me more like I just didn't quite time the bottom. Or if I had gotten in here, that would have been much better. But not timing the bottom plus not having any kind of real bounce basically removes any opportunity. Just kind of surprised this thing didn't bounce at all. HMA still kind of hovering around the $11 area. Didn't actually hit a high here either. Yeah, we just touched it. QTTB still holding nice. I haven't looked at the QTTB for a second. Yeah, it seems like it's somewhat consolidated around that 420 area. Right, 410 to 430. $10,000 share buyer there. I doubt we're going to get a fill. We can try for it, though. I mean, I'll take it. It's a half fill. Considering we were just down here a minute ago. Yeah, I'm just going to cut it there. Call it there. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty much going to wrap it up here, so... Yeah. Okay day overall, $8. Yeah, I'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Real quick here. I want to shout out the Discord and the chat here, so if you're interested in that, you can check that out. I will be back tomorrow.